Hello, hello. Come on into the kitchen. If you're cooking along before I start talking too much, put some boiling water on to boil. Okay, I've got my medium-sized pot. That's perfect for one packet of pasta or 350 grams. It's a sort of a half-size stock pot, and I've got it on to boil. We'll talk about the salt in a minute, but get your water on to boil, please, before we start. Hey everyone, hey Jessie, hey everybody. Hope you are all doing okay, and big hugs to all of you who are doing it particularly tough, job-wise, business-wise, whatever. It's just such a shit situation, and I really hope things get better for everyone soon. Anyway, sending lots of hugs and love from my kitchen to all of you. So good to see so many of you joining. I'll try to read your questions, comments as we go, but it is hard because it goes pretty fast. So please chat to me if you can. If I don't answer you, don't take it personally. It's just because I'm looking at something I'm doing and I've missed it. Okay, so hopefully you join me on Monday to make the Mmcc Essential Tomato Sauce. It is my favourite pasta sauce of all time. I learned it originally from my mother-in-law, who's now passed away, but she was the most wonderful and inspirational cook, and I learnt so much from her. And so that sauce was originally hers, and now I make it all the time, and my freezer is always full of it. I freeze it in containers that are small so that I can just whip one out and use it for whatever I need to use it for. So if you didn't make the sauce and you want to make it now, you'll find on IGTV the video of me making the sauce. It's called Mmcc Essential Tomato Sauce. If you don't have the sauce and you want to cook along, by all means, you use a store-bought sauce. There are plenty of good ones. It's going to cost you a bit more than making your own, but there are some really delicious ones out there. Okay, so today we're making my husband Danny's favourite pasta. This is what he would happily eat, I reckon, 5 times a week, okay? 5 times out of 7 he would eat this. 5 meals out of 7. And I'm going to use his, for those of you who don't know him, and most of you do not, he has these, obsessive things that he loves from time to time, and the shape of pasta is one of them. So he'll go through a 2-year spate of has to be strozzo preti, nothing else has to be this particular brand. Now he's moved to these, and these ones are called rigatoni, but they're sort of like a packery big tube rigatoni thing. So that's what I'm cooking with today, because that's his current obsession. But use penne, use rigatoni, you could even use spaghetti, any pasta you like. I said 350 grams for 4 people. For my family, 350 grams is probably for 3 people. We are big eaters, okay? So for 4 people, with a medium serve each, we're going to use 350 grams of your favourite dried pasta. Then for the sauce, these are the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need 2 cups of your homemade tomato sauce or store-bought tomato sauce. We are adding in some artichokes. I got these from my local store, which is Parisi's. They are called chargrilled artichokes, and they're just lovely artichokes in oil that have been char-grilled. So they've got a little bit of char on the outside. I'm going to put those in as well, and I've got 200 grams, which is a medium container. Then the secret ingredient is cherry bocconcini or baby bocconcini, and they're the ones that you buy in the plastic tub. I should just grab the tub and show you what it looks like. They're from the supermarket. They are, I'm not using buffalo mozzarella in this. I'm not using a super expensive ingredient. Buffalo mozzarella for me is for eating with tomatoes so that you can enjoy it properly. This is called cherry bocconcini, Paissanella make it, and it's a really delicious product, and it melts beautifully. So, is everyone's water on to boil? So, bocconcini, we need about 100 grams of that. It's sort of a half a cup of baby bocconcini. Some parmesan, of course. You can use grana padano or reggiano, whichever one you prefer. I've got a half a cup of grated, and again, my local store grates it for me, which is a really nice shortcut sometimes when you're feeling a bit lazy. So that's the ingredients plus secret ingredient, red wine vinegar. We're going to add a couple teaspoons of that. That to me is what changes this from ordinary to fabulous. A couple of things change it from ordinary to fabulous, and I'm going to share them with you. And of course, red chili flakes, which are not here, which I will find in a minute. Okay, let's get the pasta on to start. Your water needs to be boiling. What can we use instead of artichokes? Just leave them out. There's nothing. You know, it's just an added something. By all means, my glasses are fogging up. I'm having a bit of a facial here. Okay, I'll answer the artichokes in a sec. Just leave them out if you don't have them. It's absolutely fine. It's just an added something. I'll think of in a minute what we could add instead. Okay, boiling water. I'm using cooking salt, and I'm going to add in a couple of teaspoons of, probably a good tablespoon of salt in here. I want it really well salted. Okay, what's that saying? It should taste like the sea. Okay, I'm going to add in my pasta because we need to get it cooking. Everyone ready? Water boiling, salt inside, lots of water. And I'm going to pop in the pasta. Water is on a high, and I've measured it already, and this is 350 grams. Okay, turn it up. Just going to give it a stir as it goes in. And as soon as it comes to the boil, I always look on the packet because it always says how long this pasta should cook for. And this one is 14 minutes, okay? So pretty much in 16 minutes, lunch will be ready, okay? As soon as it starts to boil. So I'm going to put my timer on for 14 minutes. Hey Siri, set the timer for 12 minutes.
Okay, 12 minutes and counting.
I'm setting it for 12 because I want to taste it at 12 and see what it's like, because I don't want this pasta to be super soft. I want it to be really al dente because I'm going to cook it for a couple minutes in the sauce, and it's going to continue to cook. It's going straight from the water to the sauce, okay? So there's no draining and cooling. It's going to continue to cook. Okay, so let's put the other cooktop on. I'm going to put my pasta aside to boil. The timer is on. I've got the lid off, plenty of water, boiling away happily, don't need to do anything. Let's talk about what's next. I am using, and I'm not sponsored, and I've got to tell you that, I am, Love Chapter said, yeah, that her Siri responded to me. It's so funny, isn't it? And Siri shouldn't really listen to my voice. It should be attuned to your voice. It's quite funny. Okay, my new favourite pot, not sponsored. Bought it from favourite kitchenware shop, who we would like to do something with, actually. We'd like to set up like a Mmcc, utensils list on their online store, and we're talking to them about it. They're called Everten, 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 and you'll find them online in Australia, and they have pretty much everything you need kitchenware wise, and I love that store. And I wanted something to cook exactly this dish in, and this is what I found. I bought it about a month ago. It is a Swiss diamond, 24.5 centimetres, shallow casserole with lid. It is diamond based non-stick, and it is unbelievable. It's on sale. It's about $210, I think. I am tempted to buy another one. I love it so much because it's perfect for this quantity of pasta. You wouldn't want to do more. You'd probably do 500 grams just, but for 350 grams of pasta or 200 grams of pasta, it is unbelievable. I'm using it now all the time. I'm in love with it. And I told someone, one of my kids came up with a metal spoon to take something out of it, and I said, honestly, if you scratch this pot with that spoon, I'm going to have to, do something drastic. It's not exactly what I said, but it's not fit for Insta Live to say what I really said. So you've got to be careful, and I'm like looking after it and cleaning it very carefully with the nice side of the sponge, but it's absolutely fantastic. They were sold out, but I checked this morning, they have them in stock again. They got a new stock in, I think, the other day. So check again, everten.com.au, I think that's their thing. And Swiss diamond, really, really good. Best pan ever. So let's start by putting the sauce that we've got, 2 cups of sauce in the pan. Now what sometimes happens when you freeze the sauce, and you can see mine's really thick. I'm going to give my pasta a stir. just from time to time. You can see that my sauce, I'm going to turn this on, is this going to help you see it a bit better? Yeah. Is that okay? Is that a better light for you to see the sauce? My sauce is thick, I want you to see that, okay? Your sauce might be a bit more watery, and that's okay. What we're going to do now is sort of cook it down a bit because I want the sauce to be a little bit thicker. I'm not looking for a watery sauce here. I want a thick sauce. I don't want the pasta swimming in the sauce. I want it to be thick. So I'm going to actually turn this on now. And I know that I'm talking a lot, so it seems like it's going to take a long time, this whole dish. But really, can you see that properly? Am I just... Oh, it's hard. Yeah, you can. Okay. So, it's very bright. No, but you need to see it. Okay, all right, we'll do that. So, I've put the sauce on. And while the sauce is on, while the pasta is cooking, I'm going to get the rest of the ingredients ready, okay? Let's deal with the artichokes. Yum. Takes all my self-control not to eat one now because I absolutely love them. So I think they would be nice either in halves or in quarters. But what do you think? Halves or quarters? Yum. So good. My favourite. Let's do halves today. Feeling like halves, okay? If you've got the long artichokes with the stems, they're also great. Really, whichever artichokes you can find, or the ones from the jar, also good. I don't really love the ones that are in brine in the can. I don't find them delicious at all. So I would always get the ones that are in olive oil. They're delicious. Okay, so I'm cutting my artichokes in half and using all my self-control not to have another one because they're really nice. You know what, I'm not going to use these quarters now that I've decided on half, so I'm going to eat them. Oh, they're really good. Yum. Delicious. I was going to say, hey, but I didn't have breakfast, and then I realised I actually did. So, very good. Hold on. I'm going to do a tea towel. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, artichokes are ready to go. Now let's talk bocconcini. Okay, pasta is on boiling. Sauce is on sizzling. Bocconcini. Take each one. Just think of it this way. The more you chop them up, the more your melty cheese bits will be spread throughout, okay? So I'm going to cut these into quarters because I want little melty cheese bits throughout. So cut your bocconcini into quarters. Yum, that artichoke was good. There's just one more quarter, sorry. I can't leave it. So delicious. Who else loves artichokes like me? They're really, really good. Okay, cut these into quarters. If you buy, sometimes I do by mistake, the big pastinella mozzarella ball in the same looking tub, you know, you grab it from the shelf, just chop it up small, it doesn't matter. It's going to have the same effect in the sauce. If you don't have this cheese, if you don't have the cherry bocconcini, you can use mozzarella cheese. You can just cut it into small cubes or even grate it. Thumbs up from Justine. Hey Justine, how you going? So nice to see you there. It's so nice to see people that I know online. It makes me very happy. Okay, hope everyone is cooking along. Pasta on, sauce sizzling, bocconcini chopped. So this is really your go-to dinner when you haven't thought about dinner and it's 5:30 in the afternoon. You've got the sauce in the freezer. Everyone's always got pasta in the pantry, always got parmesan in the fridge. Artichokes, you know, you may have a jar somewhere. It's actually one of those dinners that is so good, good enough for just you, good enough when we're allowed to have visitors again. I find it such a winner and so easy because you've got everything. Okay. I'm going to turn this light off now because it's very, very bright on my face. Okay, so if you need it on again, I'll put it on, but let's leave it for the moment. I want the sauce sizzling away because I want to get rid of some of the moisture from it. I don't want it, as I said, too wet. All right, all the ingredients ready. We're going to need some red wine vinegar, and I don't need some... Well, I'm going to use 2 teaspoons, so just have a teaspoon measure ready, and the red wine vinegar. I have forgotten my chilli flakes, so just let me go and grab them from the pantry. I'm using also dried red chili flakes that I always have in the pantry. So this really is a pantry dinner. I mean, other than the Bocconcini, which I've got to say comes with quite a good use by date, 4th of August. You can also always have one of those in the fridge. So I'm just trying to show you that this is something that you can whip up in a minute. Okay, brand of artichokes. So if you're in Sydney, the best ones by far, grab my skimmer. If you live in Sydney, the best artichokes by far are from La Piadina in Bondi. They sell them in the jars, Italian artichokes. They're just, honestly, I could sit down, and I have sat down with friends and eaten pretty much a whole jar. They are outstanding. Don't know the brand though, but you could call La Piadina and ask them. If you haven't had one of their piadinas, which is like a flat bread with delicious things in it, go there and have one, or order one takeaway. They're really, really good. They have them, and also Parisi's, which is the local gourmet produce store and grocer in Rose Bay, have chargrilled artichokes that are very good. So most delis, I'm sure Harris Farm have them, good chargrilled artichokes, very good. Yeah, Karen, I like easy too. We all love easy from time to time. I think it's important to not have everything complicated. I need a sip of tea. Hold on. Okay, let's see how our pasta's going. I've got this out because I want to just take it straight from the pasta pot into my sauce, okay, when it's ready. No, I can see they're not ready yet and not nearly ready, so don't know what my timer's on to, but you know what? It'll beep when it is ready. Alright, so this sauce is looking very lovely and thick. There's not a lot of watery tomato stuff in there, you can see that, and that's how I want it. And what you can do now is you can actually put your artichokes in the sauce, because we do want them to be warm. So once the sauce has reduced down a little bit to that level that you want it to be, remember, as I said, if you take it from the freezer, often it gets a bit more liquidy from being frozen and then defrosting, so you may need to boil it a little bit more to get that liquid off. And once the artichokes are warmed through, I'm going to add the Bocconcini in, because I want it to start to melt before I put in the pasta. We can add our red wine vinegar now. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons in. I think this is the best ingredient. Okay, 2 teaspoons red wine vinegar. My favourite brand of this is, and always has been, Simon Johnson. It's not an expensive product. It's about $10 a bottle, red wine vinegar. I use it in my salad dressing. We go through buckets and buckets of it here, and that's what I'm using here. I don't love some of the supermarket brand red wine vinegars at all, and you don't need a super expensive one for this purpose. So that's my favourite brand of red wine vinegar. So in here I have got my sauce, my artichokes, my red wine vinegar, and I'm going to answer your questions now while that's still just sizzling away. How long can the sauce be in the fridge for? Look, probably, it's got nothing in it that's going to go off. Probably a week, but I would probably not leave it longer than 4 days, just because, and I would put it in the freezer. You know, I buy these containers. Okay, there's my timer. That's 12 minutes. I buy these containers in different sizes, and they're easy to label, and I just stack them up, and it's always there in the freezer. Freezes perfectly. Okay, let's have a look. And again, like I said the other day with the onions, the only way for me to tell if a pasta is cooked is to have a little bite. So we want it al dente, but you know, you need to have a chew of it. I want it like a minute before it's ready, okay? I know that's really hard to think about how you work that out, but you know what I mean? So you'd say, oh, it's ready in a minute, that's when we're going to use it, okay? I'm going to put the cheese in now, because we're about a minute away from taking that out. Give it a stir. I've got my parmesan ready and my red chili flakes ready. If you don't like chili, leave them out. No need at all. Sorry about that. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, yet a call still came through and paused the video, so go figure. Don't know what else to do about that. Okay, so give that a stir. We're just waiting for the pasta to be cooked. I was talking about my chilli. Let's add a 1/4 teaspoon. You know, when I'm cooking it normally, I wouldn't measure either the red wine vinegar or the chilli. I would just put in a little bit. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of chilli. Okay, Dorot's using heart of palm in her sauce. That would be quite nice. I do love hearts of palm, actually. I don't think I'd ever known of hearts of palm till I moved to Sydney in my 20s. No one in my family had ever cooked, ever eaten it. I love eating them out of the can. They're really good. Okay, so let's go. I think the pasta is ready now. Yep, I can feel it and I can see it. So now, drain your pasta. You can do it in a colander. It might be easier, but I'm trying not to leave you. And we're going to put the pasta into the sauce. Drain, drain, drain. So you remember we also cook down the sauce because there's going to be a bit of water that's going to come with the pasta, and that's fine. Okay? I revised my earlier statement. I think 350 grams of pasta is probably the right amount for this pot. So if you're going to be cooking 500 grams or a kilo of pasta, this is not the pot for you. But for 2 people, or 3 people, or 4 people, it's absolutely perfect. Okay, that's done. Now see what I mean? It's going to continue to cook. I've got the heat on medium, okay? I've got a wooden spoon, of course, nothing that's going to scratch it, and I'm going to toss it round. If you've got just less pasta in it, it's much easier to toss in this pan, right? Oh, that's for my dog. So what I want to do now is coat all the pasta with the sauce. See, it's not swimming in the sauce. I don't want it swimming in the sauce. I want it coated in the sauce. There's nothing better for me going to an Italian restaurant and having a pasta that's been cooked on the stove, obviously like this. It comes to you piping hot, and it's just adds another dimension when you have the heat directly on the pasta and sauce together, rather than the spaghetti going in the bowl, the sauce going on top of it in the bowl and served like that. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to add in a little bit of the parmesan, maybe a third of it. Okay, and I'm going to toss that through as well. And we're nearly there. We've got to season it and taste it. I think it's going to need some salt. It's very cheesy. Okay. So, salt. This is where I'm using my lovely flaky sea salt for this dish. Some pepper. I've still got it on medium. It's on a good heat because I want it to sizzle. I don't want it to stew, okay? Oh, yeah. So 350 grams is probably the max for this pot. But every night of the week, we usually do about this amount or less, obviously for 2 of us. Now, how good does that look? Tell me. Please tell me you think that looks good. How's yours looking? I'm going to turn it off now because that is done. You can serve that in that pot on a board at the table. I would sprinkle the rest of the parmesan on the top. And that is, have a look, in the better light, a beautiful, simple, quick pasta dish that takes no time at all. I absolutely love it. What I wanted to say to you was, I've got 2 pieces of pasta on the floor. No, that's not what I wanted to say to you. What I wanted to say to you was, this reheats well as well, but I've got to say, cooked and eaten straight from the pan is my ultimate best. It's so perfect right now, and you can see how quick it is. Can you cook the pasta ahead? You know what? At worst comes to worst, if you are running short of time, you could cook it ahead, but then what I would do is I would keep it in a strainer and put it back in boiling water for 2 minutes. Take it out and then put it into the pan, okay? Please post your pictures of your pasta so I can share them. You need to tag at Monday Morning CC. Post them on your Instagram or your stories and I will repost them all. If you don't want to do that, send me the photos and I will post them for you like I did with all your beautiful cinnamon cakes yesterday. Tomorrow we are going to be making soup. It's going to be super healthy and a beautiful bean or chickpea, whatever you like, or black-eyed pea, your choice, soup using the same tomato sauce. I've amended the recipe slightly from the first time I put it up, so if you're relying on that, you're going to need a bit more stock and a bit more sauce. And I'll look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at 12:15. Right, same place, same time, and I'm looking forward to that one. And I want to say one more thing. I'm planning next week. We're in lockdown, so I'm going to continue this thing. And next week, I have got some amazing surprises lined up. It's not just going to be me cooking. There's going to be a couple of little things that are going to just be very exciting. And I can't wait to share it with you. I'm just getting all that together now. Trying to give you lots of notice, people in Sydney, so you can do the shopping. I know it's hard. I know online shopping is very slow at the moment, but they will catch up, and I think they will get their act together. Good night, Calm Winstone from Canada. Thank you for staying up. That's pretty cool. And Love Chapter and Mothball. Great to have you all here, and that's all I can see at the moment. And also, I've got my chiffon class at the end of the month on Sunday, the 25th of June, which you need to sign up and register and pay for. It is a paid event. It's going to be on Zoom. We're going to go through all your questions properly on that one because it's a different setup to this Insta Live. You can sign up on the website. I'd love to see you all there anyway. So thank you, Kez. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope you're going to go and sit down with this bowl of pasta now. I just heard the door. Danny has come home, and I think it's actually perfect timing because he will, he's going to demolish this in about 5 minutes. So see you all, and stay safe and stay home. That's it from me. Bye for now. Mwah.